In what promises to be a cliffhanger of a bypoll, the Channapatna Assembly constituency in Karnataka will witness a high-stakes battle between two actors turned politicians. Yes, you're correct. You know, both Nikhil Kumaraswamy as well as C.P. Yogeshwar were actors who turned politicians. Whether they were successful or not, another conversation. In what was an openly kept secret, Nikhil Kumaraswamy, the grandson of former Prime Minister H.T. Devegowda and son of former Chief Minister of Karnataka, who is now a Union Minister, H.T. Kumaraswamy is the National Democratic Alliance candidate who shall take on C.P. Yogeshwar, who after much political drama left the BJP and filed his nomination on a Congress ticket.
Recent political developments which has taken place regarding Channapatna, as we all know, the whole of the state has watched it. Given an opportunity to contest as a NDA candidate, so I will, and even all the Karyakartas, everybody, both the Karyakartas are with me. I'm sure people also will bless me. We are NDA alliance partners, so we will take everybody into confidence as we did in last Lok Sabha polls.
All right. The reason for C.P. Yogeshwar's shift was because of betrayal, because of what he was promised, and that being the BJP-JDS alliance in Karnataka, giving him the candidature, the ticket on a platter. After all, the actor turned politician has a very impressive past record. Not only does he have a sure shot vote bank in the Vokkaliga dominated constituency, let's not forget he was elected 5 times from Channapatna constituency since 1999 as an independent, also from the Congress party, the BJP and Samajwadi party. Yes, he may be a party hopper, but he delivers. There were talks that if Yogeshwar would consider fighting on a JDS symbol, when Yogeshwar got to know that even Yedurappa has left it to the JDS to take a decision on the candidate, Yogeshwar decided to say goodbye to the BJP and jumped over to the Congress. The grand old man of the BJP in the state, B.S. Yedurappa, made the party's intent very clear on the issue and said as follows: our party has already announced candidates for 2 of the 3 assembly seats that are facing by-elections in the state. Union Home Minister Amit Shah has made it clear that Channapatna seat belongs to JDS and that party is free to decide on the candidate. After many consultations with the big daddies of the JDS, soon after, BJP strongman and former Chief Minister Yedurappa officially announced Nikhil as the NDA candidate, whose third foray needs all in the alliance to keep their multiple fingers crossed, because he lost in Ramanagara in 23 assembly elections. In 2019, he lost the Mandya Lok Sabha constituency to independent candidate, the actress turned politician Sumalata. Now, in all this, enter the DK brothers, Deputy Chief Minister Shivakumar and his younger sibling Suresh, who lost to Nikhil Kumaraswamy's uncle, C.N. Manjunath in Bengaluru rural Lok Sabha constituency, and the brothers may be angling to avenge the defeat. I told you that's why the Channapatna churn is proving to be a super duper thriller. But the question is, why would the BJP-JDS combine given to what seems like a defeat? And why is the Congress relying on a perennial turncoat like Yogeshwar? Let's debate. The guests who are joining me is Professor Chambi Puranik, Senior Political Analyst. We are also awaiting Bansi Kalappa, who is a Senior Journalist. But as of now, Professor Puranik, a very, very warm welcome to you, sir. Namaskara.
Good evening, sir. Namaste.
Sir, you know, this alliance is of convenience. We've discussed it many times. The BJP and JDS alliance. It's for getting a kind of a stronghold, being there, winning elections. But even recently, when all this Channapatna thing was happening, Kumaraswamy said very clearly, "I am tired. I cannot handle this anymore." When we tell C.P. Yogeshwar you can fight, if he just says no and is sulking in a corner. What do you think made Yedurappa to say, let this seat go to BJP, JDS, we are okay with this? Is it because of the Vokkaliga dominance? And what about the tiredness and fatigue of HTK, sir?
The question of H.D. Kumaraswamy being tired or demoralized to some extent. But in the heart of heart, he also knew that someday, the Channapatna seat, which belongs to JDS in two elections, because Yogeshwar lost in 2018 and 2023. Though, as you said, he's a very seasoned politician, and he is also, capable of mustering his own supporters there. But those supporters are within the Vokkaliga community. Now, here the question is the domination of the Vokkaliga community in that constituency itself is a deciding factor. Who is going to be the Vokkaliga leader? As on today, JDS has that stronghold, and twice Kumaraswamy has become MLA. And naturally, legally and technically, politically, it belongs to JDS. So Mr. Kumaraswamy was hoping that his son would be the candidate, because whatever he said, there is something hidden in Mr. Kumaraswamy. And so another thing is, Mr. Kumaraswamy is always capable of playing to the emotions of the people, not only to his own caste people, but also to the people of Karnataka. Now, in this context, he bent upon giving the ticket to Yogeshwar in the name of the JDS party, which Yogeshwar didn't want, because he knew that once he becomes a JDS candidate, his emergence or prominence in the Vokkaliga community in that particular area will be diminished. So naturally, Yogesh has his own ambitions and all that. So therefore, it is Kumaraswamy who has taken a very conscious and a very clever and intelligent decision by seeing that no other candidate is available. You see, Yogeshwar himself was not a strong candidate, but with the support of BJP and JDS, he would have definitely won the
He's got a
constituency.
very impressive past record, Professor. It's like a
No,
student who has always scored
yeah,
100 out of 100. Whether he's an independent, whether he's with Congress earlier, whether he's with the Samajwadi Party. So he's a sure shot winner who will bring the Vokkaliga community to vote for him. And now, of course, things change because he's jumped over to the Congress. Let me come back to you. Bansi Kalappa is also joining us, but over the phone line. Bansi, can you hear me? Bansi?
Yeah, I can hear you well. If Yogeshwara's chances are good. Now it's a straight fight between him and Nikhil Kumaraswamy. And this is Nikhil Kumaraswamy's third straight election, and it looks like things are against him in this election.
Yeah.
Because although leader of opposition in Karnataka, Mr. Ashok, says that Kumaraswamy won with a 25,000 margin last time, and that this time Nikhil will win by a 30,000 or 40,000 margin. That's what he's saying today. But it looks like, a pipe dream, because things not really going in favor of JDS. Because like all of us know, any by-election really favors the ruling party, and that is the Congress here. And second, Congress has its own vote share in Channapatna, and we've seen Channapatna easily, they have about 40,000 votes. And that's the second point. And the third most important reason is that Yogeshwara himself is a 5-time MLA. He has won as an independent in 99, and of course, last 2 rounds he lost to Kumaraswamy. But his popularity after he filled up those lakes and tanks there is quite good. So nobody can write him off.
Ask you also, Bansi, knowing Nikhil Kumaraswamy's past record, why is the BJP JDS taking such a risk, sir? Quickly, if you can tell me.
No, basically the JDS leadership, this is what the thinking is. In Kannada, the JDS leadership is saying, seat hodru parvagilla, election sotru parvagilla, seat hogbardu. So it means that even if we lose the election, we must not lose the seat. So this time if Nikhil contests and loses, for next time he gets a chance of winning. So the idea is the constituency remains intact with the JDS. That is the JDS leadership thinking.
Right. Let me go to Professor Saab. Professor, let's talk about the DK brothers now. The very dramatic DK brothers who are now clapping, saying, oh, Yogeshwar is with us. So it's not like old camaraderie, it's not friendship. Politics, no one is a friend. Do you think that with Yogeshwar coming there, they have an advantage in the Vokkaliga heartland? And also, it's about reclaiming the Vokkaliga community, because the brother Suresh, he lost it. So it's about consolidating the Vokkaliga community. It's a good opportunity for them. Don't you think, sir?
Yeah, I think Mr. D.K. Shivakumar is a great strategist and also a very shrewd person. But the problem, Sudha, is that in this constituency, in the Lok Sabha elections, the brother has lost it. And it's a very big setback for D.K. Shivkumar, who wants to be the next chief minister after Siddaramaiah vacates or some agreement is done. So therefore, I think, when himself, by campaigning in this constituency, he has lost because his brother lost. So that means to say it's a kind of an opportunity to revive his own whatever influence or image in that constituency. So also in the state politics, as that he would be the only candidate for chief minister post because he himself is only a deputy chief minister. So that itself shows that there are kind of hidden whatever kind of intentions are there. But Mr. Karapa mentioned about this. Nikhil Kumaraswamy being the handicapped or is not in a position to give competition, tough competition. But it is going to be tough also because D.K. Shivkumar himself is aware of that particular limitations. And Yogeshwar, in spite of his being a so-called popular leader who has been elected and all that, because of his frequent hopping from party to party and also his own, selfish interest, because he has no ideology. He has no identity, he has no loyalty. These things are going to definitely play on the emotions of the Vokkaliga leaders because the future of Vokkaliga leadership has to be decided in Channapatna constituency in terms of its future emergence as a leader.
Bansi, is it sure that, it's going to be most probably a cakewalk for Yogeshwar? You think so?
See, if you look at numbers, if you look at 18, Yogeshwar got about 66,000 votes. This is even when he's contesting from the BJP, and BJP doesn't have more than even 10,000 votes there. In 2023, again contesting from the BJP, he got about 80,000 votes, where again the BJP, votes are less than 10,000. So what does that give Yogeshwar? It gives him a solid 50 to 65,000 votes, which are his own. So, wherever he goes, those votes follow him. So, let's remember that this is the same man in 1999 who won handsomely against established parties.
Exactly.
And even when he was in the Congress, he's won straight away twice.
Yes.
So we can't write him off. Of course, there is a huge negative publicity from his daughter, but in spite of all the family linen being washed in public, in spite of it, he has a solid edge.
But tell me something, Bansi, another interesting factor is what Professor was saying about the DK brothers. Do you think it's a major ego clash also? In politics, avenging, revenge, all these things play a very important part. A lot of politicians adhere to this principle of I will avenge it. Do you think DK Shivakumar, the brothers, Suresh and Shivakumar, have a major ego clash with HDK? I mean, overall, to say that, okay, our chance now, we will show you what it means to have a win, because we saw some of the results in during the Lok Sabha elections, Bansi.
See, if you look at the DK brothers are no great friend of Yogeshwara, because if you look at Yogeshwara, he lists DK Shivkumar as his enemy number one. So now two people on opposing ends have come together to defeat a common enemy. So all this happens in politics. I mean, they are no angels really. They are all politicians.
Exactly.
So how much of revenge is there? How much of this bitterness, this acrimony is there? Not really sure, but yes, these are human beings who will squabble, who will slug it out. This is a turf war at the end of it. Let's remember that.
Okay, let me now go across to Professor. Professor, I just have 2 minutes left. Professor, the win in Channapatna, what will it mean for the politics of Karnataka? Will it be strengthening the hands because the Vokkaligas would have spoken in one way?
I think, as Mr. Bansik mentioned, it's a tough fight. Even the victory margin will be very narrow, because the competition is between two, rivals or people who disagree each other. That is DK Shivkumar brothers versus HD Devagowda and HD Kumaraswamy. But here, Mr. Yogeshwar is not also trusted by Congress leaders. Just only for the sake of election, they have given him the ticket because Congress never had a good candidate. So you must know that Congress has desperately was waiting for Yogeshwar to switch from BJP to Congress. So that means to show the voters, especially the Vokkaliga voters, they are going to be very clever, very shrewd. And I think, on the basis of the judgment, there may be some sympathy factor for Nikhil Kumaraswamy because they also want a future Vokkaliga leader next to Mr. H.D. Kumaraswamy, who always says, I'm not having good health. If you don't give me votes, you give me poison. Like that, the shedding of tears by both, his grandfather, H.D. Devagowda, and Kumaraswamy, and also the kind of sympathy factor that Mr. Nikhil Kumaraswamy may place before the Vokkaliga votes in Channapatna. Perhaps he will give a tough fight.